Well, it's time for drawing again. This morning, my cat. I don't think you can see him yet, but he's climbing the bookshelf. We'll see how that goes. So we've got a little bit of snow this morning, which is cool. Cool, literally cool. I'm a fan of the snow. I don't necessarily enjoy driving in it, but I think it's beautiful. Okay, let me see. Um, let's just grab one of these references. I saw this guy this morning. I have no idea who this is, but there were so many pictures of him on Pinterest. I don't know why Pinterest decided to show me this guy. But it's hilarious, so I think we've got to draw him. We're gonna, you know what? We're gonna do this one, and we're gonna roll with it. Let's see. We'll just make him into a fun little cartoon character and kind of go from there. Let's see. We'll just block out the shapes first. He's a big dude, but he looks like a tall guy, so I'm gonna go and make him a tall guy. And kind of exaggerate some of these. Like, you can barely see his eyes are just under that hat. Oh man. He's got this wild mustache. We're gonna give him some ears. I know you can't see it in the photo, but you know, this is my drawing. I can do what I want. And we're going to also. Well, now, wait a second. He's like a little Santa Claus. Alright, except he's gonna have like a hoodie thing going on. And I like how this coat is kind of overlapping here. We're gonna keep that, and it's tucked in behind his arm. So we're gonna keep that too. He's got his hand in his pocket in the photo, but I don't think I want to do that. Let's just do like Santa is striking a pose here. And I want to give him like maybe a bit of maybe kind of make this look like a, I don't know, maybe a cape or something. No, just a long coat. But it's definitely flaring. Yeah. And like the way his hand is over here, let's try. Oh yeah, this is a fashionable Santa. Like it's just ridiculous. Oh boy. And we're gonna clean up these lines here once I get to the inking stage. So I don't have any references for his boots. We'll just make something up, make it look all Santa-like. his pants. Let me see. So let's finish out this flare here. Is it like that? Or maybe we make the boots. Yeah, maybe we make the boots. There we go. Okay, so we're going to ink this. We're just going to go straight into inking. I'm not going to clean up this sketch. And I like to use, this is really just a modified version of the previous version of Procreate. Had this pen called the Studio Pen, which is this really great inker. Very smooth and crisp lines. And I did some work for a client a while back where they wanted, we were trying to match some previous work, and they had like a little bit of character to their lines. So as you can see, it's a little bit jittery, but it's the same pen, just modified a little bit. And I really enjoy it. Like I've used this pen so much since that client work because it has so much character. And we're just going to embrace the goofy on this guy. Let's give him some eyebrows that will go over the top of his hat. He looks like he's kind of annoyed. We can't have a Santa who is annoyed. He's just waiting for his cookies, maybe. Zoom. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that's better. I wonder how this guy would feel knowing that I just turned him into Santa Claus. Oh boy. This is just goofy. But I love it. I love it. How are we gonna do this? I want this line to be continuous, but I'm gonna have to do a little bit of erasing because I want that follow through in the line, but I'm going to have to like just make room for his hand here. Um, so like that's different than what I did up here. Actually, what I should have done up here with this hat is make one continuous line and then maybe erase afterwards and put his eyebrows. um, that follow through in that line, it makes a difference. um, I was just lazy earlier, but we're going to do it here. Here we go. And then I don't really like how his hand is here. It doesn't look relaxed enough. There we go. And then we'll add some basic color to this later. I try not to go too crazy with my layer usage. Depending on the size of the document, I can only have so many layers, but it really isn't extra limiting. And actually, it kind of frees up some brain power if you try not to get too caught up in how many layers do I have and how many layers do I have left. Like, I try as much as possible to kind of think about my digital drawing as if it were traditional drawing. So the layers are like an added bonus, right? It's not a crutch that I use. Like I have to have layers or I can't do this work. I try and think about it like, this first layer, it's a pencil sketch. And then the ink that I'm doing now is like, I've laid that pencil sketch on top of a light box and I'm using a pen to trace over it, right? Emulating what you would do in real life instead of something that is exclusive to digital. People have different philosophies about that, and there's not like a right or a wrong way to do it. That's just something that I try to keep in mind. And when I'm working with limited layers, there's a lot of creativity that happens because you're not spending that brain energy on like managing layers. Depending on the client work though, like I've got some files that the layers are pretty insane out of necessity. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is just a quick little goofy sketch anyway, so I can't remember where I found excuse me, these color swatches. I really like there's 4 sets of these Faber-Castell color swatches. You may be able to just Google search Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it has like, these are supposed to emulate the Faber-Castell color pencil colors, and I've just fallen in love. I use these a lot for a lot of my client work and goofing around sketching stuff. So, um, yeah, that's a fun little thing. So I'm gonna do this, and I marked this as a reference layer here, you might see, and what that is I can just pick a color and whoop, and it stays within the reference lines, right? Um, so now this is just, it's kind of like a coloring book. You just drop in the colors where you want it to be. And you can even do this up here at the top. So if I grab a color here and drop it, ding. Oop, that looks weird. Oh, it kind of does. I know what's doing that. I know what's doing that. This color should be under the layer. Oops. There we go. Now if I drop this here, I can continue filling and just tap where I want this color. So that makes filling in a little bit easier. We're gonna make his boots maybe like a shade of purple. I don't know, that might be too close to his coat color here, but it'll be fine. That'll be fine. And then, I mean, it's it's not totally accurate, but it's goofy. This is just a goofy sketch. And it's fine. It's totally fine. We'll just stay within the red family here. And maybe do yeah. That, and let's give him maybe a gold belt buckle. I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. There we go. And then, this is where we start getting crazy with our layers. I will do, I want this to be, start with an orange, and I'll go back to the pencil I was using and maybe bring it up in size, and we will do maybe a multiply. How's that gonna look? I don't know if that shows up extremely well. Yeah, a little bit. I think you can see it a little bit. It just gives him a little bit of a warm shadow here. Oh, I don't have any color in the white areas. Actually, I need to fix that. If I'm adding shading, that needs to be there. It doesn't have to be crazy. And then we will do, I like to use the add blend mode for like highlights. There. There we go. Just a silly little Santa sketch based on this silly man. All right, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.